What's up, guys? Mr. Jones Tattoo here, doing some lettering. So I got my sketchbook. I like this thicker, heavyweight, kind of coarse paper, and I'm doing the letter F. This sketchbook here is just something off Amazon, and it's my second lettering book. The first one was mostly all script, whereas this one is kind of focusing on block letters and Old English. So I jumped ahead to the letter F. I have an F here based off of Old English with some kind of Chicano-esque vibe with the smoke and the leaves. And then over here, the family first. So the script above and then the lowercase Old English below. I probably spent like 10 minutes already sketching this. I wish I had started filming sooner, but that's kind of the way it goes. So the first thing I'll tell you about lettering is check your spelling. You don't want to spell shit wrong. So I've been tattooing now for many years, and the first thing that came natural to me was lettering. Even just drawing. When I was in third grade, my teacher nicknamed me Tyler the Typewriter, because back then they had students learning cursive, so naturally that was something that I had. Everything else I feel like I had to learn. I think I had somewhat of an eye for it, but hand control and like a smooth pull, stroke, line, whatever you want to call it, that was probably like the one thing that I think was a little more on the natural side for me. Everything else I would say I had to work for. So when I started this, you can kind of see my light guidelines here to keep the letters all, in a straight line. And then the family, all the letters fall at the same angle. This stuff seems a little like basic and repetitive, but there's probably some people that are gonna watch this that it's new to. So thought I'd share that. And the family, I'm gonna frame in and do what I call a glow line around the word. And then the first I'm gonna do on a banner. So I'm gonna have that glow line fall behind the banner, but I might push the boundaries a little bit and then have the bottom of the Y lay over, just to kind of create a little bit of an effect. Now when I outline this banner, I won't do it in a solid black. I'll probably just brush it in with a mag as a tattoo, or I'll just outline it softly with a wash or something and then shade off of it. Lettering is one of my favorite things to draw, and it actually is one of my favorite things to tattoo. There's people in the tattoo industry that literally make their whole career off of lettering. The only reason I don't is the majority of clientele that want what I would say is like cool lettering aren't particularly the only clients I would want to tattoo. As much as I love lettering, I feel like when I do other styles or other subject matter, it draws in different clientele, and I kind of like the variety of people to pick from. At this point in tattooing, the artwork is super important, but the clients themselves can really make or break your day. So I think that I'll take a consultation with anybody just to feel them out, and hopefully give them tattoo education and send them in the best direction possible, even if I'm not the artist for them. But sometimes I will take a tattoo on that isn't necessarily something that's like a dream tattoo. It's something very basic that maybe, anybody could do, but because the person is super ideal, I'll take them on. And then sometimes I've had people that want things that I have no interest in, and I try to guide them in a direction of seeing somebody who I think is better for what they're looking for. And some of those people have ended up becoming ideal clients, and they'll change their tattoo idea just from me being honest and telling them that I don't want to do what they want. And it really creates this trust. It's not like a guarantee, but stay true to yourself and everything will work out. The letter S, or the lowercase s, in Old English is one of my favorite letters to draw. Sometimes I wish I had the letter S to use as my logo. I can't. It would be J for Jones. But I think the letter S just looks really cool. But unfortunately, it's not my letter. So when I draw these, the script I pretty much have in my memory bank. But for the Old English letters, I'll just pull up an Old English alphabet. And I'll work from that. And I'll just kind of bounce my eyes off it as I sketch the letters. And now that I have the sketch ready for the video, I'm just refining it. All right. So these are small. You could do a highlight in the center. You could add a little bit of fanciness, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to keep it simple. For the block lettering, I'm going to do the beveled edge where it gets split. And the bottom, I'm just going to do dark up, so I'm not even going to mess with these. Sometimes these small ones can get confusing, and my recommendation is just try to keep it loose and simple if you're not sure. So from here you can pick a light source, whether you're going to do the left or right side dark. I'm going to do the right side just because I think it's a good idea with the way the F bumps out over here. I may end up going back and making this darker than it is, but for some reason when I sketch in black and gray, like with a regular pencil, I like building up from dark to light instead of just going in and mashing it out. I don't know why. It's just, I've always felt that way. I feel like I just end up doing a better job with it overall. So if you're watching this for educational purposes, I'm sure it's entertaining or just educational, but if you're not, it's probably boring. And that's how getting a tattoo can be when somebody brings their friend and they think it's a good idea to sit and watch a 4-hour tattoo or more. So I usually recommend my clients come alone because it seems to be a better experience and people get bored faster than they anticipate. So the point of this book is to be educational. It's not like someone's gonna frame this and hang it on their wall, which makes it easier for me. So I'm able to kind of be loose and sketchy with it. Because I feel like when you draw like that, you show your work more. There's a dude right now that I'm talking to a lot who's got an apprenticeship and he's at the early stages of his tattoo journey. And initially when he was showing me his drawings, everything was super refined and it was like one drawing that he spent hours on. I'm like, listen, this early in the game, just sketch, just draw 4 or 5 different things. Or the same thing 5 times, loose and sketchy, and you'll probably learn more from that than sitting on one drawing, getting hung up and trying to make it the best one. Like, even if you sketch 4 or 5 of them in 10 minutes, like let's say it's like a simple flower like a peony or a cherry blossom, and then from there you can pick your favorite one and spend all the time on that. And the whole point of this is so that my hand doesn't smudge and destroy the drawing any more than it has to. So if this line is dark, this line here is lighter. And this isn't a reference line for the letters to line up. It's more like a double line. It's like the line of the banner. And then depending on what frames this in, like if there was a rose here or whatever in the tattoo, then I would shade this super, super light and kind of fade in. Just really, really light. And then if this side isn't framed off, I would still put it in. You just gotta be a little more aware of what you're doing so it doesn't come out of nowhere on a hard line. Go back and refine it a little bit more. I love when I have sketches and drawings at this point, because I could continue to spend so much time just on one image, but all the creative part is done, and that's kind of where the magic happens. You know, the other day I was out and about and I had my sketchbook with me, and I tried drawing somewhere. I can't remember where I was. I don't know if I was in my car or what. But I tried drawing, and the flow and the creative part of my brain just wasn't working. Like when I'm in my element, I'm in my drawing nook and I have my ecosystem with, you know, my computer, my phone, my tablet, my TV, my music, my food, the comfort of my studio just really allows me to get into my Zen state and flow state and just draw my stuff without interruption. I also do think I draw better at night. I know it's funny to think, but I feel like when the world's sleeping, I don't know if it's like my subconscious makes me think that I'm like not missing out on anything, or if it just feels quieter because my phone's not going off, but that's just how I feel. So you can already see the difference. This bold line framing in each letter really makes it a stronger design. So this looks a little lonely to me. One thing I'll probably do is add a little drop shadow. Just to kind of fill up some of this empty banner. Make it look a little less lonely. And again, you don't have to go crazy with these. Like, sometimes being a little more loose with this stuff can kind of look better and a little more natural than trying to overdo it. It's so tempting to go in and add detail to this family, but at the size of this drawing, and if it was to be tattooed this size, there's more than enough going on in this piece, in my opinion, to add anything else. But if this was bigger, I would definitely get fancier with this family and add like the little diamond points or something. So for those who are watching this that are tattooers, if I was gonna tattoo this, my setup is very similar every time. The 3 needles I would have out for this would be a 3-liner, a 5-liner, and a 7 round shader. And then for my mags, I would have a 7 mag flat and a 13 mag flat. And then for my wash set, I just use 1 bottle of ink, and I use a drop system to dilute it in the caps because I'm a minimalist and I think less is more. So again, you can see I'm going from dark to light. Like I could have went through this the first time and went darker about it with the past, but I didn't. Tattooing, complete opposite. I would have got it all in one shot because that's how it goes, but for some reason when I'm drawing this, I love to just slowly build up the darks. I don't know if it's like I think I get better, I don't know, contrast or it's smoother or what, but that's what's nice about drawing your stuff first or having a really good reference. All that guesswork's taken out, so when you do tattoo it, you're not figuring it out on the skin. At least you shouldn't be. Unless you're a master, which most people aren't. Yep, so that's it for this one. I'll even sign it since I'm on camera. Mr. Jones 2025. Alright guys, stay tuned. Peace.